just slow down. And you will see you will be more aware of these little things, because if you never slow down, there will be a day that there will be a wall and then you will fall down. So I prefer to slow down instead of falling down.
Welcome to the Mind Body Podcast. I'm your host, Maria Angelova, and I'm here to challenge everything you have been told about aging and wellness. This podcast is for those who refuse to accept that growing old means growing unhealthy. Each week, I will bring you dynamic conversations with inspirational guests, sharing practical advice, insights, and motivation to live your life rebelliously as you age with grace and vitality. This is your time to embrace self-care, transformation, and an infectious spirit that says no to the conventional and yes to a vibrant, powerful life. Let's dive in and redefine what it means to live well. Hi, Rebels, and welcome to the Mind Body Podcast. With me, your host, Maria. I am here with my special guest today, Cindy Van Eeckhout. Hello, Cindy. How are you doing?
Hello, Maria. I'm fine. Thank you so much for inviting me to your beautiful show.
Absolutely. I am so excited for you to be here because let's ask our listener, do you ever think that you can have a life that is filled with freedom and joy and fulfillment, or a life that's successful? And I'm excited to have Cindy today because I think she's going to give us the secret how it does not have to be an or, but can be an and. So, Cindy, I'm so excited to be talking to you. Let's dive in by getting to know you. Give us 3 words that describe who is Cindy and give us a little bit of a backstory behind each word.
Okay. For me, my most important word, number 1, is alegria, which is Spanish for joy of life. I'll tell you straight about it. Number 3, it's energy, very important in life as well. And number 3 for me is ambitious, driven, because this is who I am. So I'll give you some backstory. Yeah. So first one, alegria of joy of life. For me, it's the most important word because it's been following me and my husband all my life, professionally and personally. And for me, joy is so important that it becomes more and more the embodiment of who I am, and sharing and inspiring others to feel this joy is it's my mission in life. So creating like a ripple effect of joy that can transform the world. This is where I'm going for. This is my mission. And important as well, when I talked about professionally, my husband and I, we co-founded 4 different businesses. We're coming originally from Belgium, living already more than 20 years in Provence. And during the 20 years, we created 4 businesses with the name of Alegria. We had first Alegria B&B for 20 years, 10 years of Alegria Art Boutique, then now 4 years, almost 5 of Alegria Real Estate, and 3 years of Alegria Coaching. So everything in our lives is created around joy of life.
I love it.
I don't know. Do you like me to continue with the second one, or do you like to ask?
Well, actually, I want to ask you because you mentioned a very important word. We talk so much, Cindy, about like joy and happiness and, good vibrations and all of that. But one word that you brought up key is you brought up the word embodiment. And I love that because I work with the body and I talk, it's not just what you say, but it's also what you feel in your body. So when you talk that you embody that word in your, existence, professional, personal, in your life, tell us what does that mean to you? Because I think we sometimes have that disconnect of like, I'm going to think positive, but things are not happening because there's a missing, we're not embodying the work.
Yeah, but it's not saying the word. Of course, you can say it, and it helps if you say it 1,000 times. That will help. But it's like being and feeling that way. And it's not just doing or saying or acting or faking. It's being that. And while, as I said, for so many years, I've been working with people from all over the world and feeling that joy for me, joy, in comparison of happiness, joy is a way of being. Where happiness is more a way of feeling, and this joy, it really comes from within us. It's like this source that is continuous and that is really from within us. And you can't buy it, you can't fake it, you can't just do as if you have it. you just feel it, and then you can radiate and transform it, and people can feel it then. And this is the embodiment. And I know you work a lot with body, soul, and mind as well. So, and this is a nice part. And this is it brings me back to the number 2 word, which is the energy.
Yes, I was going to go to that, Cindy. Look at that. Tell us.
Because it's quite linked a little bit to each other, because also there with energy, for me, there is the external energy. So the energy that you radiate and that people feel. And like when we connected, it felt like there is this energy that connects us. And with other people, you don't have it. And that's fine. It's just your energy. And in general, people say if they come in a room with me or if I talk, they feel this energy and it energizes them. So for me, this makes me already joyful and happy if they can feel this joy and energy. So this is a positive external energy. But then, of course, there is the internal energy that I feel. And that for me, you can compare also a little bit with intuition. And I know that for you, it's also very important of listening to your intuition. And we're both coming from the corporate world. Always we're very into our heads, because in the corporate world, it's more rational. But having this rational part is okay. But also knowing that there is this internal intuition. And when you can have this balance between both, and first listen to your intuition, and then you can help your ratio to do things quicker and have strategies around it. But it first needs to come from the energy inside of you. So this is the number 2.
And you know what else I really appreciate you saying, Cindy, when you said, I think sometimes for people, it's like, well, my logical sense is telling me to do this. My intuition is telling me to do that. And I think so many of us are conditioned, I'll raise my hands, to be logical and common sense and to follow what everybody else is doing. And sometimes, like in my case, my intuition told me to do something wild and crazy. And it was scary. So can you tell us a little bit about how do you teach your clients to trust their, well, 1, to tap into their intuition, and then 2, to trust their intuition, right? Because what if the world around you tells you something else?
First, it's tapping into it. And the tapping into it, we can all do it. And we did it when we were younger. It's just by growing up and while you go to school, and why people get more into our head saying you have to think and don't feel, but just think, that we forget it. But it's quite easy to tap into. It's just like go into nature. If you don't have nature, just go to a park or whatever. If you don't have it nearby, or close your eyes. And if you have an important decision to make, or a small decision, and you can start with a small thing, right, and just asking yourself, okay, does this feel right? Do I trust this person? Do I like to move to this apartment or this house? Or do I like this job? And if you really close your eyes and you are honest, you just will feel it. And even if your mind will fight it against, it will fight a little bit, because it's not, no. It's like a little bit the angel and the devil on your shoulder. And for me, the devil, it will keep you safe. So it's good that you've got this devil, this rational devil that will keep you safe. So watch out. So this is good. But he will try, or he or she, the devil, will keep you,
depending what your devil is,
in this comfort zone. But it's your intuition, and this angel will say like, okay, but even if it's not comfortable, it feels right. Even if I don't know how, it really feels right. Even if society tells me this is not the way how you should do your career or whatever, it just feels so aligned with me. And only being already aware of it, that's the first step. Just being aware. And if you don't dare to take the second step yet, it's fine. Take then a small step and try it out. You don't have to change very abrupt. I did it for all my businesses. We really stopped quite abrupt in our lives because it felt really right. We followed our heart, and this is how it happened. But not everybody has to do it like that. And then the other question you asked, so how do you tap in, was the first one. And then the second one,
how do you tap in? And then 2, how do you choose to trust your intuition?
Yeah, how do you trust it? How do you trust it? The trust comes by doing it more. If you do it the first time, it will be like lots of doubt will come on and say like, I don't know if this is the right thing. Maybe I should listen to this little other devil, and maybe I should wait another year, or maybe there will be something else. But just try it out and try it out in the smallest way you can. And if you do it once and you trusted your intuition and it worked out well, You do it a second time for something completely different. And the more you will do it, the more you will have this confidence. And this with everything in life. The first time you started to walk, it went well when you were a baby. But the more you did one step after another, you were walking. And then you had this confidence. Yeah, oh my gosh, I can do like the adults there. So it's all the same. It's doing it, trying it out, little step by little step, and you will build confidence with that.
The one word that I relate to when you're talking, Cindy, is when you talked about the comfort zone, right? Being in your comfort zone, because our intuition drives us to grow, to evolve, to create, to be bigger, to step into who we are, right? Into who we are becoming. And that discomfort is there because society likes to keep us in the box. And one other check mark for me is I guess two things. Is the voice that I'm hearing, that voice that's saying, don't do it, is that your voice, or is that the voice of somebody else that says, don't do that, right? So what is that coming from? And that goes back to our conditioning that you're talking about, that goes into the subconscious. And then also, I forgot my second point. Oh yeah. And also, when we're going between this or that, and one is the logical, one is the intuitive, is it something that carries that joy and that positive energy? When I think about it, do I get excited, despite the fact that might be scary, despite the fact that you might be like, oh, I don't know if I can pull that off. But if your heart is excited, and you also mentioned that, Cindy, you said, when we let from the heart, I think that's such a different way of living that I'll tell you, the more I step into it, the more I am almost shocked. And it keeps happening over and over. And I'm still like, man, it really works. It's like I keep having that rediscovery of, oh my gosh, this really works. This really works. And I think that goes back to the second point that you make. You start with small steps. The more you do it, the more you start seeing the results for yourself.
But it's true. And with the comfort zone, it should be a lot of excitement inside of you and a small little bit of scariness. And it's good that it's scary, because if it doesn't feel scary, you're not dreaming big enough. So it needs to be a little bit scary.
You're not growing. Yeah.
You stay the same.
Cindy, let's say you work with a lot of driven women who you are teaching them to create time, to create energy, to live from a place of joy, to live from a place of heart. Tell us a little bit about, like, what do clients come to you about? What's a pain point that they come? Because sometimes people, I don't think they really make the correlation between intuition and how we show up in our personal and professional lives. Like, sometimes people are like, I don't understand how the work that you do would help me professionally. I'm like, oh, it will rock your professional work, but it's a different way of living. So tell me a little bit more about, like, what are the pain points that your clients come to you with?
So in general, I work with driven businesswomen, whatever, if they're coming from the corporate world or working as an entrepreneur. I've got both. And they are, in one hand side, successful. So they like their job. They're ambitious and driven. On the other hand side, they value also family life. They value also their personal life, but they just feel like they are constantly overwhelmed, they're stressed, they're exhausted, they feel guilty and unfulfilled because they don't feel this balance between their professional, personal, and family life. And so they're struggling because they want to be perfect, and this is where it all starts. They don't have this balance, but they lack self-care, and they battle a lot with perfectionism. So they don't delegate, and they have so many responsibilities. And this is why they feel exhausted, because they want to be perfect on each of these different heads. And it doesn't work like that. And this is why they don't sometimes see it. They say, like, it's so strange. I hear this all the time. It's so strange. I have it all. I've got this great job. I've got my husband, my kids. I've got the salary I want. I've got it all. But I can't tell that I'm really happy. I don't even dare to tell it out loud, but I don't feel happy inside. I don't feel the joy. I just feel empty. Where does it come from? And this is just because of this imbalance and wanting to be everywhere. And in between, they just forget themselves, and they forget to prioritize self-care. And this is where it all starts.
Yeah. What I would call that lack of balance is also being out of alignment, because I think many times we go for the next promotion, we go for that salary bump, the house, the car, whatever it is that we want to go. And I think we sometimes are so caught up into, well, that's the way to grow, that we forget to ask ourselves, is that the way I want to grow? And is that what I want in my life? And we just get caught up by, the comfort zone, the comfort box of what we know. And sometimes the secret is perhaps stepping into something new. Sometimes the secret is perhaps rebalancing. Perfection, it's such a funny term because in some ways it serves them, but in so many other ways it doesn't. And I'm speaking from personal experience of a recovering perfectionist. Of you want to be perfect. My question is, at what cost? Hey Rebels, I want to take a quick moment to share something super exciting with you. If you've been feeling stuck, disconnected, or just know there is more to life than what you're experiencing, I have something special for you. I have created a powerful 6-step video series called Unleash Your Potential, an introduction to the Angelova Method. As a valued Mind-Body podcast listener, the series is my gift to you. In this series, I will guide you through the core elements of the Angelova Method, a unique approach that integrates movement, mindset, and mastery to help you align your body, mind, and life. You will learn practical techniques to improve your alignment, boost your core strength, and connect deeply to your inner self. Whether you're looking to enhance your physical health, gain mental clarity, or simply live more fully, these videos are designed to get you started on the path to your most vibrant self. And the best part? It's completely free. So if you're ready to break through barriers and unleash your full potential, head over to mindbodyexpert.com and get started today. Let's take this journey together, because you, my rebel, deserve nothing less than the extraordinary. What is that facade of you having it all together when the inside is empty? What is it costing you?
That's the thing. Success shouldn't come at the cost of happiness. And success is not the key to happiness. This is important. It's the other way around. It's happiness that is the key to success.
Yes.
And you understand that, then you can put things in different perspectives. But of course, you just have to juggle with it. And what I would say, it's progress, not perfection. And this is just trying it out. And I must say, like you, I'm guilty about any perfection. And sometimes I see myself still again like, oh, no, just try things out, do it. And even if it's imperfect, it's better to have imperfect action than perfect inaction in everything in life. So just do this little step, try it out, and learn along the way, because we all are clumsy beginners. We start at a certain point and we have to learn. And that's great, because this is how we grow. So if you accept that, then it's much easier to accept that things are not perfect.
Yeah. You brought up another essential part of the growth journey, Cindy, and that's action. Mm-hmm. And especially when we're perfectionists, like we perfect it, whatever the it is, and it freezes us, it paralyzes us. We don't take any action because it's not perfect enough. And then it's almost like we're going in a circle, chasing our tail, perfecting whatever it is. And the years, not just the months, the weeks, the months, the years pass by while we're still perfecting and still sitting on it. And I always tell my clients, action is the only thing that will change your life. You can think about it, you can dream about it, you can visualize it. If that inspired action, heart-filled action is not there, things are not going to change. What do you have to say about that, Cindy?
I completely agree with this. And this is what was his name again? Morgan Freeman said. I like it. It's like discipline will get you started, and commitment, consistency will get you finished. And this is all about action. And if you don't, you can have the discipline to do one step, and this is already great. But then it's like an athlete, you have to practice all the time. And you don't become an Olympic athlete just by exercising once a month. It just is this discipline, and this discipline will get you started. But then you have to have this consistency. And even if it's just 1 minute a day, 5 minutes a day, you grow little by little. While you do a lot with your body, it's the same. If you're not used to doing exercises, you start just with 1 minute, and then 5 minutes, 10 minutes, an hour, and whatever. And this consistency and this discipline, these are the action. And if you do this, you will always be successful. And if you are not successful straight away, it's because maybe you have to tweak the action a bit, because maybe this was not the right action. And that's fine as well, because we all can learn while doing it. But while you're doing it, you will realize like, oh my gosh, I'm doing all this action here and it doesn't flow. And if you feel like it's blocking, then go back, step aside and say, okay, is there maybe another more flowing action I can take to get to the result that I want? Because it's not because we started one action that this is the right action. And that's great. It's okay that it wasn't maybe, but by learning it, you will just feel it quite quickly. So yes, I do agree that action is the only word that will get you where you want to have, because you can think about it and dream about it and manifest. I love that. But this is not going to get you there alone. You need everything, but most of it, a lot of action.
I appreciate that you say small action, because that's, with clients who don't have consistent as a self-care schedule, routine, that's what I tell them. I'm like, start with 5 minutes, and they look at me for real. And I'm like, yes, 5 minutes every day. And then turn the 5 minutes into 10 minutes. And when that's consistent, over time, when you start feeling the difference of how that 5 minutes makes a difference, I'll tell you, Cindy, I started meditating because I was type A. Well, I am type A, perfectionist, control freak, my mind constantly buzzing out, getting in bed exhausted. I was one of those women who you're talking about, exhausted and can't wait to sleep. And then I'll get in bed and I'll toss and turn for 2, 3, 4 hours because I can't shut down my brain. And then I was like, meditate. Oh my gosh, it was a battlefield trying to meditate. So my intention was to start with 1 minute of meditation. And do you know what I started seeing over time, Cindy? That the days when I would spend that 1 minute, 60 seconds of meditation, my day would go totally different than if I didn't do it. 1 minute. That's how it started. It didn't start with 30 minutes meditations. 1 minute, I would just sit, stare at the window in the sunshine and breathe. That was it. And slowly I started building that habit. But I didn't start with 30 minutes. And another point I want to bring up is we started talking about comparison. Is, I'll get, well, my friend meditates and she meditates for an hour a day. Okay, that's not where you are right now, right? And you know what? And meditation, as sitting down, meditating, closing your eyes, Buddha position, whatever it is, the standard of what people see as meditation, might not be your thing. Your thing might be journaling. Your thing might be going in nature. Your thing might be doing an intentional movement session. Your version of meditation might be different than your friend. So drop the comparison and do something that gives you joy, right? What gives you joy and what gives me joy might be two totally different things. Why am I making myself joyous, but why gives you joy?
Completely. And what you're telling about the meditation, I had the same experience in my life. I know the meditation, we had to sit for 1 hour. It was the most terrible thing in life at that time. And she said, if it's the first time, don't worry. It's like a horse that will pull you away because you can't concentrate and be into presence. So this horse will take you away, and it's okay. You just take back the horse. You take back the horse. So after this 1 hour, this was for me so hard to sit down for 1 hour. After the hour, she asked to everybody in the circle, how is it going? How did it go? I said, it was terrible. I said, it's at one horse. I had 3 horses and they were pulling all over, and it didn't work out for me. And that's why, so in the beginning I said, okay, meditation is not yet for me. So this is I think 8 years ago. So I said, it's not my thing. So, but then I started with other kind of what you were telling, meditation, and it doesn't need to take that long. And you can, I sit now and I do the breathing, and with the breathing, the meditation, and this helps me to calm down. But I know people, they do walking meditation, so it's not about walking, but they have a walking meditation, and then having this affirmation, just can be still, or you can have affirmation, or you can listen if it's too challenging to have this silence during the meditation. You can have a guided meditation, and this helps you as well. But for me, it's like priming your day for success, priming your day for joy and happiness. And it is proven scientifically. So, and if it's the first time, like you say, do it 1 minute, 30 seconds, do just the breathing, or watch the birds, or the tree, or whatever. Nature, just something that calms you down. And the best for me, and which I could recommend, I suppose you agree, is do it whenever you wake up immediately, because then you're still in this state in between, and it's easier then. Because if you're rushing like after 3 hours of very intense work, then it's more challenging to get your mind calm. But you can do it, and that's no problem. But the first time, it's better to make it a morning ritual.
And you know, another thing I would say to what you said the first time you did it, you were like, this was terrible. Don't judge your experience. Give yourself a pat on the back, right? We're so judgmental on ourselves. Oh, I didn't do it right. I didn't meditate right. I didn't do the exercise right. I didn't lift enough weight. It's like we do everything wrong. How about I give myself credit for trying something new, and I acknowledge where I am aware, and I know I have opportunities to do better. Pat on the back. How different is that? Like, how does that make you feel differently than, oh, I can't even meditate right? It's just like, oh, everything is judgment, right?
Yeah, it's true. And also there, and this goes together. So you've got this, I call it self-sabotage on one hand side, and a perfectionism, because we think, okay, once we're in this ritual, it needs to be like an hour every day.
Perfect.
No, it doesn't need to be perfect. And if one day you can't do it because other things are more important that day, it's fine. This is what I say to my client. It's fine. Nobody has this perfect scheme. Of course, if you don't have to work, if you don't have kids, if you don't have, you can make it like in the most ideal situation. But life just is happening.
The most not realized.
Are sick, and sometimes things are happening with your job or whatever. And then you say, okay, let's take just 1 minute of breathing or 3 sentences of affirmation or whatever. And I'm fine with that for today. So I did something and I'm happy with that. And I did a thing, a small little step, instead of this perfect ritual that I was supposed to do in my perfect world.
Yeah, I love it. Cindy, tell our listener, if you can give them one piece of advice, what would that be?
In life, or you mean with joy of life, or in
one piece of advice, anything?
I'm going to give 2 pieces.
Sure.
First one is, if you want to feel this joy of life in your professional and personal life, is just ask yourself, in the beginning of the day, it can be part of your ritual. What can I do today that will make me joyful and which will bring me joy? So this is a small thing. You can say, okay, it can be giving a call to a friend in the evening, or just giving a compliment to a colleague, or just doing this 1 minute of breathing for yourself during lunch pause. But you can just say, okay, what is my mini commitment? A small little thing that will bring me joy. And the second piece of advice that goes a little bit together, it's like, even that both of us, we love energy and we're driven and ambition, and it needs to go and drive fast. But sometimes you just have to slow down. And I think slowing down sometimes is so important. And we are not used to doing that. We see slowing down as a vacation, as a reward. It doesn't need to be a reward. It is like your requirement. And just slowing down to speed up afterwards, slowing down to listen to yourself, slowing down to ask yourself questions. Why was I triggered today because this person said this? Or why didn't I feel this joy? Or why wasn't I present? Or why was I tired? Just slow down. And you will see, you will be more aware of these little things. Because if you never slow down, there will be a day that there will be a wall. And then you will fall down. So I prefer to slow down instead of falling down. So what brings joy and slow down are my small pieces of advice to everybody.
And I would 100% second both of those. And I'll tell you, especially when it gets to the body, I mean, you can push and drain yourself and be exhausted. Your body will slow you down. So it's either a choice and you can enjoy that choice, savor that choice, or it could be a thing where you're dealing with a medical condition, with a health condition, which is not the fun way to go. I can tell that from working with hundreds of people who are dealing with health conditions. It is not fun to dig yourself out of the hole. So yeah, make the time proactively. Be proactive about taking care of your body, mind, and spirit. All right, Cindy, tell us, what is your definition of rebellious?
My definition of rebellious is just doing what you feel like you must do. Even though it's not always the right timing, even though it sounds a little bit crazy, but just, again, follow your heart and do it, and do what you want to do. And try to have like a list of, like a little bucket list with things that are not classical, but like experiences, things that are, again, out of your comfort zone, that you can do with your family, that you can do with your husband. You don't have to do it alone. But things, this experience, they're out of the ordinary, of the classical things. And it can be rebellious in a very strict way, but it can be also beautiful rebellious. And whatever it is, it's just do it and do the things that you feel you should do.
Mm-hmm. That touched my heart personally. So thank you for that. Cindy, where can people connect with your awesome energy and your awesome self? Give us social media, websites.
So they can connect on different possibilities. Of course, if anything I said resonate, they can first of all go to my website. It's alegriacoaching.eu, and Alegria, it's with one L, Alegria, coaching, one word, together with Alegria.
We'll post that in the episode as well.
Okay. And they will see on my website, there is a free Joy of Life assessment. And I really encourage them to do it. It's just a small quiz. It's 10 questions, but it's so interesting because if you feel like stressed and overwhelmed, it will there discover what is giving that to you. And on top of that, you will get a personalized report with all the things you can do to reduce the stress, to reclaim your time, and just to get the freedom that you deserve. So go and get to my website. And if you want to connect with me, all my details are on it. And apart from that, for the socials, I'm most of it on LinkedIn with my name, Cindy Van Eeckhout. I'm also on Instagram and Facebook, but most of the week I'm on LinkedIn. But I follow everybody on the 3 socials. And of course, if they see me there, they can engage with me, they can direct message me, and they see a little bit what I am doing during the week with my clients. What are the tips? Because I give a lot of tips on my LinkedIn as well.
Yeah, and that's how we connected with your awesome energy and networking. And you are a bundle of joy, my dear, and your energy is contagious. And I am so grateful to you for being here. Rebels, if you have any questions, please ask them. Chances are, if you have a question, somebody else has that same question. And Cindy, I also love that in your quiz, you not only give the quiz, but you also give the recommendations and the action that goes along with that, because we talk that action is the only thing that will get you to move forward in your life. With that said, Cindy, thank you so much for being here, my friend. I appreciate your time and energy.
And I thank you, and I love your rebellious spirit and mindset. And thanks again for having invited me here, and wishing you all the best with all your beautiful podcasts, because I saw you celebrated so many already. So congratulations with that, Maria.
Thank you so much.
And have fun with all the rest, because I love your body, mind, and soul expertise.
Thank you, thank you, thank you. Vice versa. And Rebels, take action, take actions, get inspired by this conversation, dig in, see what brings you joy, be honest with yourself, be open with yourself, and take that small, consistent action that will bring that heart beating and that joy into your body and blood rushing through. Don't forget to stay rebellious, and I will see you next time. Thank you for joining us on the Mind Body Podcast, where we explore the power of living authentically and rebelliously. If you enjoyed today's episode, don't forget to subscribe, leave a review, and share it with a fellow rebellious soul who would love to hear what we share as much as you do. Stay strong, stay calm, and most importantly, stay rebellious. Until next time, rebellious souls, keep living fully. Your journey is just beginning.